Ladies and gentlemen, do not over roast your chestnuts. Careful not to choke on your eggnog. You're watching Psychopath Exposure Christmas Special.
And away we go!
What's up, warriors? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira. Today we're going to be talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not talking about Tim Burton's film from 1993. We're not talking about Jack and Sally. We're talking about the nightmare that the psychopath narcissist orchestrates to ruin your Christmas and the Christmas of your family because they're so messed up and they've got their life so backwards and so broken that they have nothing else to live for except ruining other people's lives. Because let's face it, when things are going well for the narcissist, when they're off with their new supply and they're posting all those marvelous pictures on social media of how happy they are and all the Christmas presents and oh look, new supply, they flew me out to Vegas, or we're spending Christmas in a cabin in the mountains. Oh, he's so thoughtful. I finally met my soulmate. He's so much better than you. In other words, you know what they're trying to imply. And it's just funny because when you were with them, they wouldn't even put you on their social media. I know a lot of you guys complain about that. But now all of a sudden, wow, there they are just blasting away. You think they're doing it for them? No. You think they're doing it for their new supply? No. They're doing it because they're hoping that you're still hung up over them and that you're going to be spending the holidays, especially Christmas, looking at their social media and grimacing, if that's even a word. Sounds good. Sounded good in my head. Grimacing over the fact that they're spending Christmas with somebody else and not you. When you guys had plans to take that nice vacation overseas, but it didn't happen, but suddenly they're taking this new person that they just met a few months ago. And this new person is reaping the benefits. They're getting everything that was promised to you. See, they do that in hopes of ruining Christmas for you. They're doing that because it gives them narcissistic supply at the idea, at the possibility that they can't even prove, but the possibility that you're still looking and you're keeping tabs on them. All right? So that's one obvious way that the narcissist just figures out how to continue torturing you and abusing you, even when they're long gone. They still have control over your emotions. And it feels like a nightmare that you can never wake up from. But that's neither here or there or here. It's actually here or there, one of those two. You guys can choose. The real nightmare before Christmas happens when you're the side dude or the side chick. Because the narcissists, especially the ones that are married and they have kids, you know who they're going to spend Christmas with. No matter what they tell you, no matter the future fakes of, oh, we're separated, we're going to get a divorce, we just can't file for divorce yet, and they're stringing you along and stringing you along. But then, it's interesting how they manage to pick a fight right before Christmas. Out of the blue. They just pick a fight, and it's such a horrible, horrible, horrible fight that whatever plans you guys had are now canceled. And you might think, oh man, when they wake up Christmas morning, they're going to be miserable and they're going to be blowing up my phone to bring some presents and to get together and to make up, to kiss and make up. There's no way that I'm not going to hear from them on Christmas. No way, because Christmas softens people and everyone's happy and loving and presents and cookies and eggnog and all that good stuff, right? And reindeer and sleighs and Santa. You see, a narcissist is spending Christmas with their family. The narcissist is spending Christmas with their main source of supply, if we want to use that terminology. They're spending Christmas with the person that's most important to them. They're future faking you, they're stringing you along during the rest of the year. But during the special occasions, the holidays, the birthdays, have you noticed how something always comes up? You guys are either fighting, or they're unavailable, or they're sick, or they have to travel somewhere. But how come they don't spend those special occasions with you? The reason is because you're being used. You're just a source of supply to them. They're going to spend the holidays with the person that's most important to them at that very moment. Yes, there are cases with these horrible, horrible mutants that they will abandon their family on Christmas and go spend the holidays with the side person. That does happen. But more often than not, if you're involved with a narcissistic, manipulative, two-timing, double-lifing piece of crap that's still married, that has kids, and they're seeing you on the side, cheating on their spouse, cheating on their family, really. You have to understand that that's their family, whether they care about them or not. They're cheating on their family, right? But they have to save face. They have to play a role. And on those occasions, remember, they're going to be on their best behavior to show the family, the extended family, to show the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, show that they're there and that they're, that facade is real. No matter what if you're, whether you're the wife or the husband, if you're the victim in a narcissistic relationship, remember, the narcissist is trying to look good in front of everybody else. So of course, on those special occasions, they're going to be at their best behavior. And you're going to be there, walking on eggshells, looking around, trying to tell people, hey, he's putting on an act. It's so fake. Can't you see it? But nobody sees it because nobody understands this shit unless you go through it. They don't see it. You look like the crazy person. But of course they're going to be there and they're going to show up. Of course they're going to be there. Again, like I said, there are many, many cases where these scumbags abandon their family altogether. But for the majority of the time, you learn to recognize and you realize beyond a doubt, if you're paying attention and you're not gaslighting yourself, you realize on these special occasions where their loyalties lie. Where the narcissist's loyalties lie. Whether or not they love their wives or husbands is irrelevant. But it just shows you where their loyalties lie. I've worked with a lot of survivors where I've had to point out this hard truth. You're just a side girl. You're just a side dude. Why are you crying on Christmas Eve? Why are you crying on your birthday? Why aren't you with your man or with your woman on their birthday? Or on Christmas? Or on New Year's? Thanksgiving? Goes on and on and on. I remember my psychopath ex 2 weeks before I got rid of her. 2 weeks before I caught her cheating right in front of me. 2 weeks prior was her birthday. And she, I picked her up, she showed up. No, I didn't pick her up, that's bullshit. We met up at the restaurant that we agreed to go to that she wanted to go to. We met up there. She drove there in her own car. Showed up with the sexiest, cutest little outfit you could imagine. This was already months into the no intimacy punishment, right? The cutest little outfit, cute as a button. I was like, ooh, if only I got lucky tonight with my girlfriend. She spent most of the evening on her phone. You know what she was doing? Chatting with the new supply, making plans, because when that evening ended, I think we finished eating like around 9:30 or so. She busts out with, oh, I have to go home because my family, they're cutting me a cake. See, I knew her family. Why wasn't I invited to my girlfriend's little birthday party at home? You know why? Because there wasn't one. She didn't get along with her parents. She was always fighting with her parents. They were not gonna be cutting her a slice of cake. They knew it was her boyfriend. I used to go to her house every week. Why wasn't I invited? You know what she was really doing? When I left, I remember she stayed. She didn't even go inside her car. She made sure that I left before she even got in her car. It was the most suspicious thing ever. And of course, by that time, I was so deep in the spell and in the brain fog and in cognitive dissonance, because I knew that was uncanny. I knew already by the patterns of behavior, the lack of intimacy, the lies, the tantrums, the constant fights every Saturday night so she could disappear on a Saturday night, which is when you want to be with your romantic partner, with your boyfriend or girlfriend. I knew that was off. Anybody else in the world wants to be with their man or their woman on their birthday. You show up with balloons and gifts and you have a nice dinner and then you go home and you know what happens then? That's common sense. But see, she was going to meet up with the new supply. That's what she was going to do, and that's what she did. So, you know, looking back, and that was a long time ago, but looking back, there's no doubt in my mind where her loyalties lied at that moment. Because later on, after everything ended, and I was doing my research and background information, I discovered that she was in a relationship with this person for months prior. For months prior, while she was still in a relationship with me. She was in a relationship. It was documented. That was her boyfriend. So, of course, her boyfriend had no idea she was spending a few hours with me prior. He was clueless. Completely clueless. And you know what? The same thing happens on Christmas. That's why I call it the nightmare before Christmas. Because they find a way to destroy and to ruin the spirit. They find a way to just create an explosion out of anything. Out of anything. They blow up. And you're sitting there watching it because, you know, you're walking on eggshells. You know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and how is it going to be this time. But you know it's coming. You know it's coming. For some of you right now that are watching this video and are still entangled with a psychopath, with a narcissist, and you're just learning about this topic, you're just learning about this disorder, these videos have been resonating with you, it's probably happening to you right now. As a matter of fact, why don't you share with us right now? Leave a comment below this video. If your narcissist has already picked a fight and has already destroyed the plans that you had looking forward to this weekend for Christmas. Okay? Let us know exactly how it happened. And you're going to see how many other people share the same exact story. It's almost comical. Eventually, when you get through this, you start laughing at this shit because it is pretty funny how near identical the patterns are, that you can almost predict it. For those of you that are married to a psychopath narcissist, you already know. The holidays already trigger you because you already know that at some point, days before Christmas, some shit's gonna hit the fan, something's gonna happen and it's gonna get ruined and they're gonna disappear. Most likely on Christmas Eve, most likely until Christmas morning. They might not even show up back home. And they'll tell you, oh, I just need to cool off. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna go see my mother. I'm just gonna be with family this year. No, they're not. They're with the other guy or with the other woman. That's why your intuition's right, it's screaming at you, and your stomach and your gut is killing you. Because you know it doesn't add up. You wanna be with your partner on Christmas. Especially if it's snowing and it's like negative 30 below and you're staying home with a fire, roasting chestnuts, listening to Christmas music, watching movies, looking forward to midnight to open presents. You want to be with your partner. Especially if your partner is your husband or wife and you have kids. You want that. That's what you're looking forward to. That's the spirit of Christmas, and to be with family. Oh, where's your girlfriend? How come your girlfriend's not here? Where's your boyfriend? Is he working late? Oh, and then you start making excuses. Oh, they called him. He had to do a late shift. They had to do inventory, covering for their ass, lying for the narcissist. They're knocking boots with the other person. They're giving the new supply the best Christmas they've ever had to lock them down, only to do the same thing to them the following year, if that relationship even makes it 365 days, if it even makes it that long. So it does feel like a nightmare before Christmas. It really, really does. And what it also contributes to, it anchors in your subconscious. It anchors into your subconscious a trauma, and suddenly you start associating Christmas with negative vibrations. You start damn, I just said it. I was going to repeat what I said and I lost my train of thought. It triggers a negative memory. It triggers fear. It triggers the anxiety, the impending doom of the same thing happening again this Christmas. If it happened last Christmas, you're already walking on eggshells that it's going to happen this Christmas. And that's the seed that the narcissist plants in your head. They plant those seeds. It's the same way when the narcissist throws a tantrum. Every time you question them or you catch them in a lie and they just throw a tantrum and they yell and they break shit and storm off. That's the way these cowards react when they've been exposed. They have to do that to scare you. They cannot face the truth. They cannot face the reality. They do that to plant a seed in your head that says, next time you try to do this, this is how it's going to be. This is what I'm going to do. So just remember, I'm letting you know now. You question me again, you confront me again like this, you ask me questions that normal human beings would ask when something's afoul, you catch me in a lie again, and this is the punishment you're gonna receive. You're gonna get yelled at, you're gonna get threatened, you might get beat. I'm also gonna storm out, cancel all plans that we had. And you're not going to hear from me for days because you're going to get the silent treatment now. And I'm just going to ghost you. So next time you consider questioning me again, you consider catching me in a lie and telling me that you caught me, just know that this is the punishment that's waiting for you around the corner. So might be a better idea for you to bite your tongue and not say anything. That's my romanticized version of explaining what these monsters do. This is how they get you. It's all psychology. This is how they get you. And it becomes an anchor. And when these holidays, when these special occasions come, and you're still married to this person, or you're still in a relationship with this person, you're gonna start feeling anxious the closer you get to the holidays. You're gonna start walking on eggshells, softer than you ever have before, in anticipation, hoping that the closer it gets, oh man, we just need 2 more days, please. If we can just not fight, if everything can just go smoothly, we'll make it to Christmas morning and we'll be able to open gifts together and it's gonna be great. And yet it never fails. No matter how good you are, you'll never be good enough. Something is gonna tick them off. As a matter of fact, you can be near perfect, and that will be what sets them off. The narcissist, the psychopath, the sociopath will be like, son of a bitch, I can't find anything to blow up at, so I'm just gonna blow up at the fact that I couldn't blow up at anything. And that's why it seems like they're crazy motherfuckers, because they're not in a medical sense, but the way we speak as a figure of speech, yeah, crazy as fuck. You gotta be a crazy lunatic to pull some shit like that. Because what they're really doing, they're ruining Christmas for themselves too. Because they might go off to the new supply, but they're still carrying that energy. And they have to lie and continue lying to cover up that lie. So now you're blowing up their phone. Where are you? Our kids are waiting. Are you coming to dinner? Everyone's here. And the new supply is like, why is she still calling you? Like, oh my God, didn't you break up with her last year? Wow, she's crazy. Yeah, because that's what he told the new supply, or that's what she told the new supply. It's all smoke and mirrors and bullshit. But you know what? Now that you're aware of this shit, you don't have to play that game anymore. You can have an awesome Christmas with yourself, your kids, your friends, your family. You can have an amazing Christmas. And you do not need the validation or the company of a narcissistic, malignant predator, because that's what they are. They're predators. You do not need their confirmation, their validation, their company, their acceptance, their loyalty. You don't need shit to have an amazing Christmas this year. You really don't. Because truth be told, it's impossible to have an amazing Christmas when you're with a lying, evil, two-faced monster like this. It's an illusion. It's a delusion. I compare it to an idealization that the victim has for their abuser. It's an idealization of how it would be if your abuser was not an abuser, if your narcissist was not cheating on you, if your narcissist had empathy and they had the Christmas spirit and a human heart and real love. You are idealizing those things. You are projecting those things because that's what you have. Because that you sounded so stupid. Because you have a real ability to love. You really experience true honesty, loyalty, love, companionship. You really feel those feelings and you offer those things to your partner 100%. You reciprocate those things with others. And you're not selfish, you're selfless. You give that away. You're not expecting that in return. You give your all. But at some point you realize, hey, wait a second. Shouldn't I get something back regardless? If this person really loved me, I mean, It doesn't have to be completely 50-50, but there needs to be you notice that, hey, wait a second, like I'm always the one that's buying you presents, I'm always the one that's planning these things, I'm always the one that's trying to make your Christmas special, but man, I never get anything back. Instead, what I get are lies, disappearing acts, tantrums, fights, abuse. At some point you realize, damn, they never give anything back. And it's at that moment that you do have to become a little bit selfish and say, hey, you know what? No more. I'm putting myself first now. I'm putting myself first. And you know what? I'm tired of you crossing these boundaries. I'm tired of you walking all over my emotions. This ends today. And the sooner you can arrive at that moment, the sooner you can get clear, you can achieve that clarity, is the sooner you'll be able to experience a healing. That the closer you'll get to that first step of healing. Because if you keep doing the same shit, you're gonna be in that same loop over and over and over again, year after year after year after year. Oh, maybe they'll change. Maybe this time they'll respect me. Maybe the fact that I'm still here after all these years, they'll finally appreciate me. And it's really the opposite. It's really the opposite. So think about that as Christmas approaches. What are you gonna do to ensure that you have a peaceful, happy, joyous Christmas with the cards that you've been dealt? Are you gonna put down that idealization that your abuser is not an abuser? Are you gonna come to recognize the truth and be honest with yourself and admit that, yeah, I'm just the side girl, just the side dude. Of course they're gonna be with their husband or their wife. Why did I think it would be any different? Because again, the sooner you come to terms with what's reality, the sooner you can move out of it, the sooner you can heal, the sooner you can start rebuilding your life and giving yourself a chance to have an awesome life. And I know it hurts and I know it sucks. But you have to go through this shit because the time is gonna pass by anyway. So you can either choose to remain in hell for eternity with the narcissist, because the narcissist is going to live in hell for all eternity. Or you can say, you know what? I'm in hell, so let me start walking through hell and out of hell, because at least with every step that I take, I'm moving forward towards the light, towards the exit. But if I sit around and I do fuck all, then I'm basically going to be sharing a throne with Satan for all eternity. Happy Christmas, Harry. Hope you guys do make this one really special. Hope you got some value out of this. Got to keep it real with you guys. I know it's not easy. I know it's tough. I know these holidays trigger a lot of emotions. But the choice is yours. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to stop the abuse. All right? So I'm wishing you the best. I hope you have cold weather, and I hope you have eggnog, and I hope the reindeer don't eat all your gingerbread cookies in the morning. Love you guys. Love yourselves. Happy Christmas. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, hit a thumbs up. Share the video with some friends, some family that may benefit from this information so that they understand what you're going through. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. All right, share your stories in the comments if you had a great, if you're having a great holiday season already, if you've taken the steps to get out of the narcissistic entanglement. Share with others. Give some people some strength and hope so that they can see that we're in this together and that there is a way out, because there's always a solution to things. You just got to give it time, you find the silver lining, and take the necessary steps. All right? So, I hope to see you guys soon. My name is Kita, Psychopath Exposure. Hope you enjoyed the Christmas special. I will see you guys next time.